Hey everybody, let's get right to it. We are down to the quarterfinals of the Champions League and everything is beautifully poised, including my outfit. I got my Kraftwerk shirt. It's pretty dapper. There you see, little Kraftwerk. Never hurt nobody. All right, so let's get to it. The quarterfinals, before we get to who remains, let's take a look at what happened on Wednesday. And I was right and wrong on a couple things. First of all, Liverpool triumphant, convincing, going to Munich and beating Bayern 3-1. They look like the team from last year. The only difference, not as reliant on Mo Salah, but you know Salah is a nice ace up the sleeve for them, and they'll be able to perhaps rely on him at some point moving forward. Defensively good. Sadio Mane, the man of the hour with 2 goals, clinical with his finishing. And Bayern Munich just flat over 2 legs, 1 goal. As good as they looked, this was a last real run for this Bayern team, I think, as it currently exists. I think there's going to have to be a lot of changes to see where they go from here, but far cry from the team that would make and win the Champions League or make a final here and there. It's not happening. Out very early, hugely disappointing, but they ran into the wrong team at the wrong time. And let's talk about Liverpool, and this is a further testament to the class of the Premier League, and I touched on that, and as I predicted, all 4 teams would get through. I did predict Spurs, by the way, but yesterday I switched my pick to Liverpool. I like to talk about my predictions a fair bit, and I was wrong on a couple as well. But you don't want to say that the reflection of the league would say how they're going to play in the Champions League, but I think here it can. I think I've been very critical of the Premier League in years past. When Leicester City won it, I rang the alarm bells. I go, this is bad for the league. As much respect as Leicester City deserves, they should never win the Premier League because of the teams that are there. So they alleviated that, and they brought in, more than anything else, great coaching, and now this is the position that the Premier League is in, and I think the Premier League is going to get a team at the very least in the finals and potentially win this thing here in 2019. This is the 3rd time that 4 teams from one league has made the quarterfinals. 2008, 2009, back-to-back years. The Premier League did it. In 2008, they got Manchester United in the final, lost to Barcelona. 2009, the final, actually, I think reversed those years. 2009, Barcelona beat Manchester United. 2008, Manchester United beat Chelsea in the final. So that's a good omen for the English clubs to at least make a final, which they can't say all the time. Last year, ending a long run of English failure in this competition, but those days seem far behind us. Success will obviously be determined on what happens in the draw, and a reminder to everyone that I will be here on my YouTube channel, Max Bretos, and that'll be Friday, March the 15th, and we will recap the results of the draw and maybe give you a little prediction as teams moving forward. Real quick note on Bayern Munich. This was massive failure for the Bundesliga, and we saw it even last year kind of moving in this direction. They have a lot of work to do in the offseason. They need to replenish these rosters. Schalke was embarrassed. They allowed 10 goals over 2 legs. Dortmund were embarrassed too, not to that degree. And Bayern Munich, 1 goal in 2 games. It's not good. It's not good. It could have been bad for Spanish league as well, because look, Barcelona won 5-1, and I said they'd probably lose here. I said they'd lose. But between the beginning of the second half to about the 75th minute, they were hanging over the precipice. They allowed the Lyon goal, and Lyon was coming fast and time again. And they could have scored that second goal that could have put them through on away goals. Then they leave Lionel Messi wide open, bad idea, and then 1 goal, the next goal, and then Lyon had checked out. What I liked about this Barcelona effort is others chipped in. This was not a classic Messi game, despite the 2 goals. This was Suarez played great. Coutinho got involved. Defensively, they are good, although there were enough reasons for alarm for me here, as you will see when I give you my rankings here shortly of the quarterfinalists. So, good on Barcelona. Quarterfinals of where they slipped up the last 3 years. We'll see if they can avoid it. I'm going to give you now the 8 teams that remain. I'm going to rank them from 8th to 1st, 8th being the least likely to win it. See what you think. So, number 8, I have Ajax. I like them a lot. They are talented, they are athletic and young, and those are all good things, but they could be bad things here as well. I wouldn't be surprised if they made the semifinals, but I have them 8th. Number 7, Tottenham Hotspur. Really good what they have done, really well coached. Remember, they didn't sign a lot of players in the old market, but I think that depth could be an issue here, and it's 7th best in Europe. It's not bad. They're just a rung below Manchester United, who have been playing better. and are coming off a huge, impressive win to get them to this stage. So Manchester United, and remember, there were injuries and suspensions, so they'll get fully fit. We'll see if they can continue on here. I have them at 6th. At number 5, I have Porto. Porto were a group winner and have been great through this competition. They had to really battle here in the round of 16 against Roma, but they got through. I think they can make a semifinals. They are good enough, and they have been as dominant as any in their domestic campaigns. Number 4 is Barcelona. Still too many question marks for me. They haven't looked fluid here, whereas the top 3 have had their moments. I don't think you can argue that. Can they win it? I'm not sure. I think the top 3 all can win it. Number 3 is Liverpool. They've been there, they've done that. They were there in the final, should have won it, but it slipped away. So they're coming at number 3, and they look like all their ills have been cleansed off the plate after that win at Bayern. Number 2, Juventus could be number 1. They've gotten that close call, that wipe off the brow, out of the way. They are more than just Ronaldo. They are a spectacular team, young, experienced, talented. Number 1, Manchester City. I don't think anyone can argue that. They are the favorites right now. As I said in my last post, Manchester City Juventus would be a great final. We'll see if we get it. That's the pecking order for me for now, from 8 to 1. A reminder, on Friday we'll have a recap of the draw. Subscribe to my YouTube page, Max Bretos, and leave questions. I already have a few. We will answer those questions on Friday. Look forward to seeing there. Enjoy the week. Ooh, it's only going to get better from here, folks.